Let's talk a little bit about Word accessibility and navigating your Word documents to create 100% digital accessible pages. The first thing I want to share with you is that one of the best and easiest ways to make sure you are maintaining accessibility is to use the accessibility checker regularly. I always suggest you open up your accessibility checker by clicking on Review, locating Check Accessibility icon, and having it opened up in the right hand pane so that you always have it available for you to work through items as they appear. Now that we've opened the Accessibility Assistant, I want to call your attention to the word Assistant. If you happen to have a Word document open and this says Accessibility Checker, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure you upgrade to the newest version. So this says Accessibility Assistant and has all of the new accessibility tools built in right now, or there are quite a few that are still in the works and coming to help us be 100% digitally accessible. Let's go ahead first and start over here with titles and headings. I really want to draw your attention to this first set where we happen to have a title and then our document structures: heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. It is important to make sure that your hierarchy of your headings are in correct order so that you can give context to a screen reader on the importance of the information following that heading. So again, title, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. It might even be you do title, heading 1, heading 1, heading 1, heading 1, or heading 1, 2, heading 1, 2, or you could even get to heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. However, it does need to be in order. So let's look at this one that is not in order. This group here is a heading 2, title, heading 2, heading 1, and then I decided to just bold some words and up the font size so it looks like a heading. Not okay. And I'll show you why in just one second. And heading 3. One of the things that you can do to help maintain your heading structure is to think about your headings as your table of contents. Ultimately, that is what makes up your table of contents. We're going to check this by adding a table of contents to our document. So I'm going to scroll up here to the top and just have it put in up here. I am going to go to References. It may be different if you are on a PC. Find Table of Contents. Select just a classic table of contents. And you can see here the different headings. So I have Table of Contents, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. And then you will notice our second set of mismatched headings. We have this one as a heading 2. You can see it's kind of not in the correct spot right there. There's some spaces. So it was a heading 2, and then I moved to heading 1 and to heading 3. So really, the main point of your headings is to give that context and the hierarchy to your document. So you want to make sure you are following that structure. Let's go through this next section. So this next section has quite a few little different things in here I just want to call your attention to. The first would be font. It is really important to think about the font that you're using. I'm going to go ahead and change this font here. Some fonts are very hard to read, and that readability makes it hard for someone with maybe dyslexia, lower vision to read. So picking a sans serif font like Arial, Calibri, Aptos is a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to Arial. Using a font around 11 or 12 is a best practice as well. As you can see, this font down here is a little bit smaller at 9, and it does make it harder for people with a lower vision to read. Another thing you want to be aware of is using your own ways of creating structure in your document. So for instance, I want to make this a tab, and I know it's not like 10 spaces, so I might just give a few spaces using the space bar. When I do that, a screen reader will read this as repeated blank characters, and it will not read it as a tab. So you always want to make sure you are using your tab tool, which is built-in for accessibility, as opposed to creating your own. Using your styles in your document are very important. And what do I mean by styles? I'm going to go ahead and open up this style pane. Styles are all of the different pieces and parts that have been built in here to include your headings. You have quotes, you have references, you can have list paragraphs, captions, your different table of contents, your hyperlinks. These styles, if you wanted to go ahead and put one in, I'm just going to go ahead and do this paragraph here. If I wanted some intense emphasis, I could click that, and that style will already read it. So having the style pane open as well is a great way for you to move forward. If I want to click that as a caption, I think I clicked this one, just became a caption. I'm going to undo that though, because I need that just a little bit bigger. Using your built-in numbering and bullets up here, all of these tools in the style section will really help keep your document accessible because they were created to be accessible. In the accessibility checker, you can see our next item is hard to read contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it will open up a box, highlight the area that is hard to read contrast, and it will give me options to fix it. I can choose to fix this by selecting one of these colors that has a high contrast, look for more font colors, or change the page background. I don't want to change the page background because I do like a white background with black text. So I'm going to go ahead and make this dark purple. It changes and it moves on to the next one. Again, here is some hard to read text. It is a blue, and then it is also bolded, and I need to go ahead and change that as well. Do I need it in color, or can it be in black font? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and pick color, change, and go on, and it will go through all of the issues you have until you correct them all, and then you'll receive your check mark. It's always great to get a check mark. One thing I also want to draw some attention to is using underline. When you use underline, it is stating to someone that it might be a link. We are used to seeing underlines under links. Here's a link right here. You can see an underline. Using an underline is not a best practice if you want to call attention to any text. You are going to want to use bold or italics, or you can also use both of them to draw attention to text that you would like. You can also use color. However, I want to say that it is a best practice. We didn't do it up on the top. That if you are using color, you also use bold or italics. That is because people with low vision or colorblind might not see the color. Like if we move up here, they might not be able to see this color. It might just be gray to them. So you want to go ahead and use, oh, you can really see it in this one right here. It's hard to see, that color is green. So using bold, italics, one or the other or both, and color is a best practice.